Last time on the Adventures of Gaia. With Natra unconscious, Pryo, Danus, and Zendeno looked for a room they could retreat to and recover. With the map Danus discovered in the library, they found a storage room which, much to Zendeno's delight, was still stocked with old treasures of the city. Natra recovered her strength, and the party decided to continue further into the ruins to find the throne room mentioned in the final log. After sneaking past some darklings, Danus positioned himself in a balcony high above, while the other three continued below to the throne room floor to investigate the pod sitting on a dais. As Zendeno investigated the pod, darkling Gaia constructs surrounded the party, but did not attack.
You hear the clicking, you see the little red eyes, occasionally you see some goo sort of run out of a crevice of where one of the legs connect and fall on the ground.
Okay, Pryo backs up, his kind of back to Nadra and is facing around. He's like, we're about to be flanked by everything.
Oh my gosh, they're all gonna die. As I back up.
You're just seeing tons of them pouring out, kind of like a colony of ants when they start to all move together. Initially, you think you see one or two moving, and then there's tons. You also hear the screaming coming behind Pryo. In the vision, you can see the Darklings are... and they've started to push each other over and trying to clamor as if they're using each other to make a bridge across the broken stairs.
We're about to be flanked by Darklings and these things. They made it over the hole in the stairwell. Dennis,
I'll click it twice, but I'm going to move kind of toward the corner and back a bit now. Just to back a bit and say, yeah, it looks pretty bad. And just back it up just a little bit. I'm going to wait for what's going to happen, because I don't think if we fight, I don't know if we're getting out of here. Because I'm not sure if we're going to have to, run.
All right.
I don't know what's going to happen.
All right.
Does he hear them screaming coming up that stairwell as well?
Yes. They haven't quite made it over, however, you suspect, Pryo, knowing what you know and what you can see through the bat's eyes, that they will be piling on top of each other. You're pretty sure they'll be able to get across. In fact, you notice some of that black ooze seems to be almost coming out of them and reaching out.
So I give it 10, 20 seconds tops?
Yeah.
Okay, I say out loud, more to Nadra than anyone, why aren't they attacking?
I have no idea. You see the glow in her eyes recede, and the glow in Zdeno's eyes recede as he shakes and starts looking around. He pulls back. Oh, what do we do?
Well, this is the part where we die, Zendeno. I told you.
To hell with you, there's a pod, okay? He starts hammering on the pod controls. Suddenly, one spider launches itself, the one that was just in this corner, at Zdeno. You see him reel back. He starts just hitting because he has no weapon in his hands. It moved so quickly, you didn't expect it, and it's launched at him. It's crawling all over him and scratching at him with its little claws. You see that black drippingness starting to cover his face.
I try to teleport it.
Okay.
I try to teleport it back into the market.
Okay, please roll.
I roll 58.
All right.
That is a critical on teleport.
The phoenix soars out to head towards the spiderling as you're trying to angle it and calculate in your mind how to grasp this construct that's flailing all over Zdeno's face and not also teleport one of his arms or something away as he's trying to get it off. And the phoenix envelops it. It wraps around in a white light and it's gone. You see Zdeno pulling back. There's all these cuts on his face. And Pryo, you see this little piece of black seep into a cut. Suddenly he stops. He looks around. You're both looking, both Nadra and you have her eyes are big. What? And then suddenly his body goes stiff as a board. You start to see a strange black ooze go up him, and all around you, you may roll surprise.
Critical success, I think.
Oh, you were expecting them to do something. A large, black, almost a wall of that ooze goes completely up around you in a solid dome.
Whoa.
It surrounds you and Nadra. Danus, from your vantage point, you see all the spiderlings almost as if they were projecting a spider web, sort of black goo out of their center and they've made a huge black goo dome all around Nadra and Pryo. You also see Zdeno's body go, and then suddenly goes down, and he starts heading over to the pod. He hits the controls. You see the pod start to open, and he's slowly climbing in.
On the comms, I would say, are you alive?
Do the comms function?
Yep, you can hear the comm through.
Sorta.
Okay.
Oh, holy crap!
What the hell's happening?
Man, you're in a cocoon, or like an egg sack. It's nasty.
Okay, I put up a force field.
Oh, good thinking. Nadra pulls up against your back. She says, "I have limited power, but I can try to blast a hole through." You put a force field around. The black kind of oozy goo hovers around your force field every so often. Your force field, the color shines as it hits against it. She looks at you. "I can try." She smiles. She goes, "This isn't the worst. Don't lose hope."
You keep saying that. Danus, what's going on out there?
Up the stairway, Danus, you hear a troubling noise. You hear footfalls starting to come up the stairs.
Out of curiosity here, do I hear them coming up the stairs as in to my level? Or coming up the stairs to the second level to go toward all the commotion in the throne room?
No, not up to your level. They've come up to the second level. They're just starting to... You hear the echoes. You can hear it echoing up through both stairways towards you.
They're mostly on the second floor. The way we came up. Danus, over.
Yeah, okay. So, Zdeno's beansed it. He's climbing into the pod. You guys are in a cocoon. And it's getting worse. Like, literally, every second's getting worse. What are we doing?
Stand by.
Yes, that means you have a plan. Good. Because it's never stand by, then something happens instantly. Or, hey, we're leaving and we're gonna search the room for an hour. like this is great.
All right, the darkling shuffling about below you. You see all these creatures. The pod is now closed.
Pryo says, "I'm here for answers. If you want to leave, I can put you back in a room."
And I told you, I'm here to fight the dark. Seems we found it. She smiles, and suddenly her eyes start to glow.
That we have.
I think you were looking for it as well, Pryo. Congratulations, darkness.
Betty, find Danus.
He starts immediately climbing out. He goes out the balcony and up. That's much easier for him.
I want Batty to sit on his back.
Through the bat's eyes, you see the position you're in of these hundreds of spiders all around this big black dome, which you know you're under. You see the pod. It's glowing would be the wrong way to describe it. It's darkening, if that makes sense. It's throwing off a darkness off as it pulsates with that quite a great, huge aura of power around it.
Pryo cracks his back. It's just good.
Your bat climbs up over the balcony and finds Danus standing there, armed. The pistol kind of dissolves and immediately is replaced by an SMG. You hold it back. You hear one single squeak to let you know that Batty seems to be there. You feel his weight on you. And you start to see the pod crack open. And out, you see Zendayo's form laying there, the tusked jaw slack, and almost as if coming right out of him is a dark being. It's a silhouetted, it's got a large, peaked sort of hat. It wears long black robes. The skin itself is black. It doesn't reflect light as it moves. It almost seems to absorb it. It's a quite cracked mouth that goes all the way to the back. It stretches.
Pryo starts walking towards it and has the force field follow him.
You start to push the force field. Nadra just kind of keeps up with you. You'd seen a few.
He has the shield ready. I want it to be clear to Nadra that I'm getting ready to fight.
Okay. She was. Her eyes had started to glow, and then they kind of calm down, or the glowing recedes as she turns to you and matches your movements.
Does the blackness push out of the way?
Yeah, it starts to recede.
Good.
Danus, you see the black dome moving, and actually it starts to peel away at the front of your force field as you see this creature that I've just described stretching, looking at itself. It seems to be pulling some of that black ooze that's coming off of your dome into itself as it holds its hands. It starts to coalesce around the feet. Finally, we are again free. Okay, you can tell there's some kind of weird expression. It might be a smile, but the mouth is so turned and horrifically moved downwards that it's not able to. It cocks its head when it sees you both.
I want to walk up so my force field is basically kind of in front of it, so that I can parlay with this creature but not have it inside the force field.
It's standing right at the edge of the dais. It had come out of the pod and come forward.
Convenient.
So the spiders there's still hundreds of spiders all around you. Danus, you see the blackness kind of fall off the creature. And roll. Do you have detective now? No.
Yeah, but it's bad. But yeah, I have it.
We'll roll.
Okay. 56 on a 70, so it is a success.
You're watching all this, a bit horrified, still waiting for that plan that's supposed to be coming any moment. And suddenly you realize the darkling noise, the screaming and clamoring has just gone quiet.
Oh, ominous. Okay, great.
All right. Okay, you stand there. Okay, Pryo. You push towards the darkness.
The dark emissary, I presume.
It looks at Nadra. Looks back to you. Clearly, you're here for us. She sent you to us.
Leave Zdeno alone.
And that? It points to Nadra. She's grown quite quiet, not necessarily fearful, just very, very, very calm. It didn't seem to respond to your question or your command.
Where is she?
We are the emissary for her. It tilts and looks around. She's grown much stronger since the last time we were here. It's time for us to move. Points to you. You will come.
Princess, I'm not going anywhere with you. You're going to tell me where she is.
It cocks its head.
You're going to tell me how I can kill her.
You hear a weird expulsion that you think it's laughing. Even the little spiders there's a clicking that seems to roll through them. Nadra just kind of looks at you sideways. No, we won't. we shall head to Worknish again.
All right, I used telepathy.
Okay, you may roll initiative. As you see a white glowing beside you start to glow.
Alrighty. 599.
Okay.
As the white phoenix launches from my eyes and my back like angel wings.
Ooh, nice descriptor. +1. Okay. The force field, I assume you're still maintaining your force field,
Indeed.
has filled with white light as your phoenix takes flight. And Nadra seems to glow. You feel a hand against your side as she beats your initiative, and suddenly you feel a rushing of air against you. She says, "Trust me." And suddenly you feel the air move about you, and you're up above looking down. You look next to you, Danus. Seems their decision was to come beside you. A white light kind of flashes. The three of you are standing up there. You're up above. She looks to you. She says, "What is your plan?"
That doesn't stop my action.
Nope.
The phoenix flies out into the mindscape and finds the dark emissary's mind.
And what a mind you shall find.
Full of foolishness and testosterone-fueled bravado.
All right, please roll.
All right. My telepathic attack is 455.
We will tug of war.
Very well. 623 in total, because I rolled 86.
Very nice. The phoenix wings still flash out both from your eyes and behind you as great wings and set forth in the mindscape. As you look out, there is a tower, a pillar of that black ooze, just a column of it rising as far up and down as you can see. You head towards it as the light of the phoenix seems to almost be diminished, and you try to enter its mind. And you may please roll MR. Gets
100. Critical fail.
What? No.
Wow. Okay.
Fix it. Fix it now.
All right.
Yep, I fail.
The phoenix launches itself into the black column of goo and is suddenly surrounded and battered with darkness. You've never felt such utter cold. Suddenly those yellow eyes flash in your mind's eye. There's no noise at all. It's just a vacuum of quiet, and you feel utter despair and hopelessness. There's nothing worth living for. You see a strange form start to assemble out of the blackness. It's got a vaguely feminine form, yellow eyes shine. And then suddenly whiteness surrounds you. A warmth envelops your mind. And there's pure nothing but hope. Nothing but goodness. And you feel yourself ripped. You hear a scream as the yellow eyes flash. And you're pulled back into the hallway.
Pryo says, "No!"
Danus, you saw the great white light go. Then suddenly Pryo screamed and pulled backwards. Nadra turned to him, and white light enveloped both of them, both in the physical world, and you can actually feel it in your own mind. Go. Pryo, can you please roll Metra for me?
I rolled 57.
Okay. Okay, you feel just burning pain throughout your body. There's almost like a tug of war within you of light and dark and hope and despair. And then calm. Utter calm. As Nadra envelops you in white light. However, your every muscle is heavy. You feel like you can't move. She turns to you both. You see, Danus, you can still see what's going on down below. What Pryo's referred to as the Emissary, and you must assume it must be, has grown to be about 20 feet tall or so. Wow. It's starting to grow up huge in the throne room. It's taking a very slow step forward. Nadra, she turns to you both. She says, "This isn't the end." She shakes you a bit, Pryo, quite like she's got a strength to her you didn't expect, given how quite lithe she is. She says, she stands up. "You, take him. You will be fine." She says, "You'll find answers. There's no time to talk." She says, "Pryo, Danus, fight against the despair. Fight against the sadness." She said, "Most of all, fight against the dying of the light." With that, she turns and launches herself off of the balcony, straight at the emissary standing there. You see a huge white light expand, and so much so you have to close your eyes or suffer some vision damage. And you see a flash. Suddenly you find yourself in a dusty, heat-filled ravine.
Wait. Whoa. Does it look familiar at all?
It is definitely the Badlands that you came through. The actual ravine itself you can't recognize, just the terrain you recognize of the parched landscape and the heat. You do see one of those giant bones.
Yeah.
So you know you're somewhere out there. Where you are exactly, you're not sure. You're in a ravine. Batty squeaks.
So I'll action mode. I take out my block cube thing and try and make a speeder.
Ooh, good thinking. +1. Okay, you do so. You toss it out. You hit the crystal. The little fob remains in your hand. And the nanotech goes out and it makes your speeder. Batty launches from your shoulders, Danus, and lands on Pryo's.
Sure, I go over. Hey, you okay?
What status? I don't know. GM?
Your physical stats have suffered 50 points of damage across. Your you have a mental numbness.
Where? Okay, Pryo gets up.
Okay.
Where is it? Where is it?
Where are we? And I kind of like turn around like, what is this?
You actually, above you see, you're under one of those skeletons you saw, and it's a huge rib cage that's almost like a cathedral ceiling sort of around you.
She sent us clear. Okay, Pryo, either stupid or determined, tries to contact the Dark Emissary again.
Okay, please roll. Tell me what you roll.
Failure.
You see the Phoenix. Danus, you see the Phoenix again start to take flight.
Okay, I rolled 71, which is a critical success on 455.
All right, the Phoenix takes flight out in the mindscape. It starts to fly about.
Can't hide from me, you piece of shit.
Yet you don't seem to find anything.
Did you kill it? Okay, he immediately changes gears and tries to contract Nadra's mind.
Okay.
86, that's the critical on 455.
The Phoenix keeps flying around. When you're looking for a mind, you often search out just an identity or a pattern or a feeling. And as you soar through looking, all you find are some white little twinkles, almost if they're 4 or 5 little stardust. But there's not enough for it to be a true mind contact.
Pryo tries to contract Zdeno's mind. 47, that's a critical on 455.
The Phoenix keeps flying around searching for anything it can find recognizable. And you find a mind. It's unconscious, however. He's not dead, but he's not contactable.
What? Where the hell? Okay. All right. I try empathy and try to feel any emotions within 100 meters.
What is going on? Because I'm seeing all these like bright lights being flashed from his face. I have no idea if he's having a stroke or what. I don't know.
Zdeno's still alive.
Okay.
You're seeking out for just something for the Phoenix to land on, and you do find, although it's a weak feeling, a great feeling of fear past the next kind of turn in this ravine. You are following what must be the tail or spine of whatever this great creature was.
Okay, Pryo starts jogging in that direction.
Hop on my speeder.
Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, Pryo, you start running. You come around the ravine. You follow. You're running. You actually have to kind of launch over what are vertebrae laying on the ground.
60, I do it.
Okay. Danus, the speeder actually easily hovers up and over as you follow, and you see a form laying hung over what the end of this creature's tail is. It's clearly Zdeno.
Okay, I slow down to a tread and I start approaching him cautiously.
Okay.
I draw one of my kukris.
+1 for being careful.
Are they clothed? Do they have all the things? Do they look similar to how they looked? Is there any black goo dripping from them? Sorry, things like this.
Okay, you approach. It's Zdeno. Seems to be. You recognize the clothing that he was wearing. You don't see any black. You see his hands hanging forward and just the side of the face with his tusk. There doesn't seem to be any blackness. In fact, the scratches that were on his face that the spider had made that allowed the ooze to gain access, there seems to be no evidence of there. You see just the slight moving of breathing. Pryo, you can tell from having used empathy and telepathy, he's clearly unconscious and suffering some sort of nightmare.
Well, I bet. Okay. I resheath the kukri. Okay, I turn his body over.
You turn his body over.
Bro.
There's not much other to be said. There's still the scratches in the clothes, but the body itself is all healed. He actually looks better than when you first met him.
Prick him.
+1, Alec. +1, good thinking.
Draw the kukri, and I just cut, part of his hand up here, just a little nick.
Okay, you hit a little nick. You see his blood start to come out. There's no evidence of any type of darkness.
Okay, I wipe his blood off my kukri on his shirt.
Okay.
I shoot the blade. Okay, I go. I get some water, pour it on him. Zdeno.
How's he look?
He seems to be in some kind of swoon.
As fat and ugly as ever.
The kindness of Pryo never ends. +1.
But he's alive. Okay, Pryo picks him up.
He's a heavy man. Of course, you're a strong one.
Okay, Pryo walks over. Just holding him there. Looks at Shooter.
Every so often.
Shooter straddles his awesome bike. Pryo goes, I don't think there's a point to going back there, do you? If a there even exists.
I can see a lot of good reasons and a whole lot of reasons I don't want to go.
Pryo nods. Says, well, if you're ready, we'll go back to Belize and maybe see if they can tend to him.
Oh. I
Nadra's
popped the
dead.
bike to make the bike crumple away to where it was.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah.
As he does that, Pryo says, Nadra's dead.
You sure?
Pretty sure. But so too is the Dark Emissary.
Oh. You think she'll come back? There was a pod right there.
Pryo shakes his head. He thinks, if she does, I don't necessarily want to meet her again.
Okay. Yeah, let's head out.
Shooter, hanging around with me is going to get you killed one day.
You know, Pryo, if I wait long enough, I'm going to die anyway.
All right, Pryo chuckles and smiles. Space bends around us. Angel Phoenix Wings goes around Pryo, and they disappear.